Hi, I'm Stephanie Ondus with the Hampshire Insurance Department, and welcome to Fraud of the Month. Today's case is regarding a gentleman from the North Country that purchased a personal accident and disability policy for himself and his family members. After he purchased the policy, he started to submit claims for payment, claiming that his family members had accidents in or around his home that resulted in a number of surgeries for each of those family members to include on or around the exact same dates. What he would do is create a bill and create medical records using his home computer and software. From there, he would then electronically submit the claim as well as the medical documentation of that bill for payment from the insurance carrier. The carrier would then make payment to him. He submitted 9 claims during this fraud scheme. During the last record submission, the doctor's name was spelled incorrectly. The carrier followed up with the doctor. The doctor verified the bill wasn't accurate. The carrier said, well, something's wrong. They reviewed the remainder of the other claims that were submitted and then referred the claims to us for us to review. We opened up an investigation and determined absolutely the bills were fraudulently created, the records were fake, and subsequently interviewed the subject. He admitted to what he had done. He admitted that he had submitted false bills and that he acted alone, that the family was in financial distress, that he was not working and that his wife was the only one employed and that she had worked at a hospital. When I had asked him what other carriers he had done this to, he admitted that he had submitted 2 claims to another carrier. That led me to believe that there could be more fraud out there. When we came back to the department, we decided that a search warrant would be necessary to determine how many claims were truly submitted to this second carrier and if there were any other carriers out there. We decided to draft a search warrant for electronic records as well as paper records that could be in or around his home. Those electronic records were analyzed by the Grafton County Sheriff's Department with their assistance. We were able to retrieve additional claims that were submitted to this carrier. After a review of the evidence from the search warrant, it was determined that 10 additional claims had been filed after his confession. There were 9 claims submitted to the first carrier, 17 submitted to the second carrier, total of $39,000, just over $39,000 that was paid out. We were able to determine that he did not act alone as he had originally indicated. Through a subpoena, we were able to obtain bank records for these payments that were coming in from these 2 separate carriers. And it was determined that the bank records reflected that it came into his wife's account, and his wife was the sole signer and the sole owner of that account. The checks came to the gentleman, but the checks were signed over and deposited into her account and her account alone. That, coupled with the fact that she worked at a hospital, was indicative that there was some culpability that she was involved. So I wanted to write the case and send it to the prosecutor for felony indictments against both of them. We were successful in doing so. We referred the case to the county attorney's office. We were successful in obtaining several felony indictments as well as convictions for the gentleman in the case who was convicted and he served in jail. He was ordered to pay restitution. His wife received a lesser sentence, but she was also convicted several months later. But nonetheless, she was also convicted for her culpability in the case.